Hi everyone, it's Nalanie and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how I make my lips look fuller, especially when I want to take pictures. I don't always exfoliate my lips before applying my lipstick because I exfoliate my lips on a regular basis, so it's not usually something that I need to do. If you didn't exfoliate, then I would highly recommend doing so. And if you like lip plumpers, you can do that also. I don't usually do that, but yeah, so I'm gonna just show you the way I do things. So first things first, I do have a little bit of foundation and a little bit of powder just to make sure I'm not super shiny for this video. First step is I take a cream contour product, and this is the LA Girl Pro Concealer. I usually go back and forth between two shades, Toast and Beautifully Bronze. This one is Toast that we're going in with. I take a very small amount, and I think I put too much, just right there on the back of my hand. And I'm just going to use a sort of little dome-shaped oval little brush. This one is from Moda Pro. This is the BMX 402 Smudger brush. And I'm just going to take a little bit of product. I always like to start with a very small amount because I don't want to go too carried away because I have and it's not cute. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to align my lips, and I'm going to show you how I'm doing this. I'm going to take my time because I like to be very precise with this. I'm going to start with the middle and just add it right here. So it's going to give you that shadow, and I'm just going to work it all around. It's okay if a little goes over your lip, but you don't want it to be too carried away. But of course, if you do get carried away, you can always fix it with a little bit of foundation and powder. When I get to the edges, I like to stay pretty close and true because I don't want my mouth to be wide. I want it to look full. So I just like taking my time with this and just blending and buffing. So I think that's pretty good for the bottom. Now I'm just going to take a very small amount again and work on the top. I'm going to start off with the Cupid's bow, and this is optional, of course, however you like to shape your Cupid's bow. Some people like to round it out, some people like to really define it. I like to define it, so we're just going to do that. And I like to go a little over, nothing too crazy because this is just the first step. So I'll do one side to show you the difference. So I'm really just emphasizing. Do you see that? You see the difference between this side and this side? And I'm going to keep this pretty close to my lip line, like that. So she'll look a little bit like that. Now I'm going to work on the other side. And I always like to check to make sure that they're pretty symmetrical and even. Okay, so that's pretty much all I'm gonna do with that side. I'm gonna clean my brush off a little bit. And now I'm going to just kind of buff it in a little bit because I don't want it to be harsh. Now, what I also like to do is use whatever translucent powder or face powder I was using. Today, we're just using a little bit of the Fenty banana powder. Just taking a little fluffy brush, very small amount, and just kind of patting it just so it's not shiny, just so it's like a little more blended. Okay, so you can see it does look a little fuller. And now the next step, since we cleaned our brush, I'm going to go in with my bronzer. This is the one I prefer using for my lips and my nose. Everywhere else I can kind of get away with other shades, but this is the Hoola Bronzer. Taking the same brush, very, very small amount. Really just want to You don't want to go too crazy with this. You want it to look as natural as possible and lightly. You can use a fluffier brush. Sometimes it's just kind of whatever I have, but we're just going to use the same brush. I don't like using too many brushes if I don't need to. And we're really going to buff this in. If you want to go a little further down on top and bottom, you can. Just keep the sides really close to your natural lines. So let's do a little more than I would normally do just for today. So just lift your lips up and just emphasize in the center. You don't want to do this all the way, but this is where I want it to be the most, you know, the most. And then bringing it up. And there you go. You have a bit of a shadow. Top part now. Okay, so now the powder is on there. You can go in with your face powder, or you can just go in with that same translucent powder. I'm just gonna use whatever's on my brush. So now we're creating the shadow. So now the shadow is there. Now it is time to line our lips. I usually go anywhere between 2 or 3 different lip liners, just kind of depending on what look I'm going for. Today, I'll show you my favorite lip combo at the moment. So I'm going to start off with Sugar Pie lip liner. This is one of my favorites from Morphe, and I'm going to show you how I line it. Lifting the lip up. Okay, so you see that, right? Now since I'm past the center part, I'm going to bring it close to my natural line. So I'm just lining on my lips. That shadow is going to create that fullness, so you can still keep your lip liner on there. And again, this is just what works for me. You see, I'm just sticking to the actual natural lines. Hopefully this is making sense. Starting off with the top, I'm gonna overline a little bit just in the center. And really just creating this shape. This is the shape that I like. And then since we got past that center part, I'm going to keep it to my natural shape. Sorry, my natural line. So that's this side, and then we're going to line this one. Okay, so this is where we overlined just the center part, and now true to the shape. You can always hold your pencil to the side to bring it down, and it just glides on. Okay, so now lines are lips are lipped. Lips are lined. I'm just shading in a little bit. All right, now we're gonna go in with lipstick, and then we're gonna come back to the lip liner portion. My favorite lipstick at the moment, I have been using this so much, is from KKW Beauty, and it is the shade right here. It is 90s style. It's a matte lipstick. I like using matte lipsticks. That's just my preference. You can use whatever you want. And I'm just tapping it in. I start with the center. Okay, so now we're going back in with that lip liner and we're gonna blend a little bit. Now I'm going in with another brush. This is a Luna Magic brush. It's just another little fluffy brush. I'm just going to blend. So I'm blending in with the lip liner and the lipstick, but I'm not overly blending. Now what I'm gonna do is you can kind of go in between a darker shade. Usually I like using Morphe's Bite Me, and I'm just going to take it and add it right here, and then just a little bit here. Just the 2 points where I overlined the most. Now I go back and blend just a little more. If I feel like I need a little more definition on the sides, I'll go in with a very light hand. So just on this outer portion right here, I went in very lightly. And just keep looking to make sure that things are symmetrical and it's not messy. Okay, now the next step is very optional. I don't necessarily like to go in with gloss every time, but if I want my lips to look a little fuller, I always go in with a very light lipstick and just place right in the center. This is e.l.f.'s Cream or Creme. So it's a very, very light shade. And this I add just right in the center. I don't bring it all the way up. And I use tapping motions. I'm going to blend out just a little more. Just pushing it in. And the very, very last step, if you do like gloss, I don't recommend putting gloss all over, but if it's something that you like doing because you really like gloss, then go for it. But for me, I like to strategically place where my lip gloss goes because I don't want it to be messy. I like eating, I like drinking things, and too much gloss just kind of gets everywhere. So I'm just going out with the Fenty Glossbomb and Fenty Glow. You can use whatever gloss you have, you know, and you like. And I'm going to add a little bit just right in the center and just lifting your face up right here and right here. So it's not touching the lip liner, it's kind of right underneath it, but just in the center. So the center where you were adding some light and a lighter color to make your lips look fuller and, you know, more plump is where I was placing that lip gloss. So it just, when the light shines and hits it, it just looks fuller. I don't know. It's just, I feel like this video is really long, but I just wanted to sit down and explain to you guys what I do. But that's pretty much it. That's how I make my lips look fuller, especially when I'm trying to take pictures. I don't go in with all the steps all the time, but when I'm really trying to get some good pictures, you know, this is what I do. So I really hope this video helps some of you guys out. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.